We're here today to open up a recessed in-ground pool of kayak. Okay, to open it up, it's real simple. It's kind of the reverse of the closing of the pool when they close the pool. First thing you do is you get the leaves and everything off of your cover and as much water that's on top of the cover off of there. Then you need two people to take the cover off, and these little tubes here, they got little caps on them. Okay, you take the caps off and they drain. You drain, that way you can move them out of the way. You drain them all the way out, and then you would clean them, all the dirt off of them, and roll them up and use them for next year. Now once the water tubes that are hold down the cover on the outside are off there, you try. The reason why I said don't have any water in the on top of the liner is because the water tubes, once you take them off, then the liner will, or the cover will want to go inside the pool because of the weight of the water on top of the liner. So basically once you do that, you can turn around and get two people, one on one end and one on the other end. I got a guy on the other end that don't want to be on camera, but that's okay. And we'll go ahead and take the cover off. We just one grabs one end and the other one grabs the other end, and we just take it all the way out to the yard. Okay, now through the winter time, underneath the cover, you're going to get dirt that's going to pile up because of just the wind blowing, leaves, and etc. Once you get the cover off, get your water tubes out of the way. I would spray the deck off, and get most of the dirt off of the outside where the pool is going to go, so it doesn't go inside the pool, and spray it all down. Okay, as soon as you get all the cover off and everything like that we just did, you want to put the ladder in. The reasons why we want to put the ladder in is for two specific reasons. While you're working around this pool, if somebody falls in, they got a way to get out. Okay, and it just goes in the cups. Got a wrench, and tighten these screws around it as it sits down in there. Then you want to put your hose in there, and the reasons why you want to put your hose in there is over there, that little square thing on the wall is your skimmer. The water's not up in there, so the water won't go inside the skimmer basket when you turn your pump and filter on. Next thing we want to do is we want to come over here to the return. We want to pull the return plug out and put this little cover here on there, and that's the eyeball. This eyeball does not need to be tight in there because it's going to be underwater. You don't have to worry about it leaking. If you put it in there tight, you may not be able to get it back out when it goes to winterizing next winter. After that, you have a basket you got to put in that you took out through the wintertime. This little basket goes inside your skimmer, and there's also an aqua door that goes around there that has to be popped off. That keeps the water from going into your lines through the wintertime. And you can keep your pool full through the winter. And that's just here. Put this and this in a safe place where you know where it's at for the winter time. Now we're going to go open up your pump and filter area. This has already got your lines connected back up to where they were from when you disconnected it for the winter time. Okay, it's got the T-valve. Inside here you got oil O-rings. You want to make sure that they have silicone O-ring lubricant on there, and you have them tightened up. Okay, then you have one here that needs to have silicone O-ring lubricant on it and tightened up. Then it goes into your skimmer basket from your pump. This will collect all the the debris from the bottom drains. Inside here in the wintertime, perfect place to store all parts through the winter. You know exactly where they're at next summer to find all your plugs for your pool pump. Then you go over here, and on the side you have 3 plugs like this. This one here is going to go here onto that unit. These 2 are going to go onto your pump. Okay, one goes right here. The other one goes right next to it. Okay, then you put your basket back in. Okay, we want to leave that open up in case we have to prime it. Okay, now, after it goes through here, it goes into your pump and filter. Okay, the filter is taken out over there in the winter time and cleaned off and stored through the winter outside of here. Or you can, if you kept it drained out, you can put it back on here. Usually this plug is loose or off. You need to tighten that up, make sure that's tightened up. Push this in, turn this. This is a tool. You can push right in here and you can pry that up. But then there's this hollow in there. There's also a O-ring here, silicone O-ring lubricant back on that, and put it back in. Now, when we put the filter in, this here big round part goes where it's facing your chemicals. Okay, then you just set it right in there above that, and it sits down in there. This here little filter here is a vent tube, and it vents, because this filter's hollow, it vents into there. Make sure it's cleaned off and no plugs are plugging this vent tube up, because then you won't have any pressure and the filter won't work properly. When you're done, you take this, put it back on, it go on any way you want. But I usually put it facing where somebody's walking by the pool and they can see the gauges from walking by it. Ring goes back on. Now this little thing here is going to go in and then back out, and that's good enough. You don't need to beat it shut like the old filters used to be. Okay, then it will go into your Frogger system, which is the white thing here. This is where your chemicals go in the water. This here plug gets put back down here in the Frogger to plug that up. Now, this here ring, only to take it off. Don't use it and beat this cover on there, because you'll never get it off. It's kind of like Loctite if you do. There's an O-ring in there, silicone O-ring lubricant. Every year you need to start out with a new mineral cartridge. The mineral cartridge actually is in there to reduce the usage of your chlorine by using minerals. That needs to be replaced every year. And then you have chlorine tablets cartridge that goes in there. That needs to be checked through the year to make sure to replace it when they get low. This is your mineral cartridge. You can hear it in there. It has a keyway here that fits down in there. It only goes in one way. It sits down in there. This is your chlorine cartridges. You head there, you gotta pop that off. Now, don't put your head over it when you pop these, because chlorine smell will come out of these cartridges and it will burn the inside of your nose a little bit. Same way when you open this cartridge up to use it, don't stand over it when you're opening this cartridge up to service it, because all the smell will come up into your face and nose. Okay, but it's keyway 2, and it only goes in one way. Then you put this back on. Only hand tight. This is to loosen, not tighten. Once that's set up, you have to prime the pump and filter in order to get it to work. Now, we just put the hose in the pool so the water's not all the way up to the skimmer. So when we do this, we don't want to suck any of the water off the skimmer. We want to suck it off the bottom drain. And that's where this T-valve here comes in. You can adjust it at start. You want to adjust it where it's shut. It's closed going here into there. Then you fill up your pump. Put the cap on. Okay, and at the same time, I have a bottom drain here. I'm going to take this where it's closed and I'm going to put it over the skimmer because I want to suck all the water off the bottom drain when I turn the pump on. Now it's drawing the water from the pool into the pump. And it'll fill this up. You leave this open and you'll feel air come out of here. When this starts spurting water out of it, that means the cartridge tank is full. And then you tighten that back up. Okay, then, as you can see, water's coming out of the return, and your pool is open, ready to go and enjoy your pool for the summer.